Hello. So today is Saturday, which is a really nice day. So I noticed that after we launch our side project, which is called Commit Club, there are some startups that's trying to kind of showcase the statistics of our product hunt launch. But when I opened up this image, it just doesn't look really nice to me. It has like a bit of an awful shadows. It has a bit of an awful kind of styles, writing, copywriting, the typography, and everything else. So maybe I would help Upvote Bell to prettify this whole image a bit. So I will download this image. I will open Figma right now, and I will edit it, and let's see how it works. Let me see if I can do like this. Yeah, I can actually type Figma new, the same as shit new, and it will work. So let's try to work in it. I will make myself a bit smaller. I want to actually make it in like 20-30 minutes, but let's see how it goes. Just a nice content for internet. So first of all, what I would do is, if you can see, they actually were posting something to Twitter, so it doesn't really reach the full kind of possibility of width. So maybe the square option would be even better. Maybe the kind of the wide option would be good, but I don't think it would crop really good. So I think they used 800 by 1000, which is kind of weird proportion. Let's try something more social media like. There's like Twitter post, but I don't think, like, it might work actually, but I also want to make something like 15 by 512 by 512 to actually post it for more formats. Okay, so what do we have? We have a name, a description, an icon, the date of launch, which styled by iOS version. We have product stats. I don't know what this means. Does it mean likes or something? I'll figure it out later. We have top voters, which is cool. We have top comments, and that's it. So let's try to make it work. Okay, so first of all, let's use something. Let's start with basic fonts like Incher. We will just make it super clean version first, and then we'll see how it scales. Yourself, make, breathe, when other faith. This is a really fun project. We launched it with Leon and Edward, and we were trying to kind of, we're meeting every week, and we're like having these really good discussions of how can we count achievements, how can we make it more trackable, and how can we give extra motivation for people to complete them. So really recommend you to check it out. Maybe after this video I will start a new. I actually want to make like a series out of this. I think there is a possibility for me to kind of post more often. Maybe I'll create a challenge for that on Commit Club. Okay, so also going to be an icon. Let's make it something really roundy, some small percent. Always make extra rounding. One trick that I learned recently is to make a nice separation from the shadow. So what I usually do for the backgrounds, like to separate, I usually make super light gray kind of backgrounds and make the icon white, then it has some separation. But it's not enough for the contrast. So what I do is, for example, I add a super subtle kind of border, which makes the separation a bit better. But what I found recently, I saw this one trick, I was trying to recreate it, is to actually add drop shadow, completely avoid any positioning parameters, and only add small 1% blur to it, which also creates this small kind of outline, but it's way kind of sharper in a way. It's weird to say that it's sharper than a stroke, which is actually more sharper, but it looks just more, I don't know, more liney to me in a way, more separational. So even if I turn this completely white background, I'm not sure, it's hard to see it. Maybe we can pop up it a bit for now, and then we will see how it goes later. I'll post the image later. Okay, we are ready with the basement. Then we have product stats. Let's reuse our main like H1 to make it immediately more consistent. It's actually bad because we have several H1s. Usually it's good to have like one main heading and then everything else is like prioritized down, but I'll actually keep it for now, and I'll solve it a bit later. Let's try to break this down a bit between each cell. We're using auto layout for everything, even for this. Okay, I will actually give some color to it right now, so I would understand where the icon lays down, but I don't want it to be too harsh. So it's gonna be like this. Okay, product stats, we have top voters, and we have top comments. It's interesting that kind of top comments are using the full kind of height, but there is also some kind of small comments with ellipses. I think I will do something like I will separate the stats and top voters here, and I will use other space for top comments. So basically we will have kind of the grid system, which will look like this. This is just approximately right now. I'm planning the composition, but we will enhance it later. And then we have also a date. I'm not trying to kind of challenge everything here, because something maybe I would do some even the content different, depends on the goals here. But let's just stick to what they have right now, and then we'll figure out. So they have the date. I will just reuse this icon for quickness purposes. Okay, we have 40, 47, maybe I'll make 40, 40, 40, 40 here as well to make a structure. Something is really cool that you can try to spice up your designs is to actually make it a bit more asymmetrical. Like for example, like from the kind of there is a rule that I will show you that will immediately make your designs more interesting. So whenever you see this kind of shape that is not like squarish, you can make the layout more interesting by just copying down the main flow and then squeezing it down, holding shift to understand what kind of proportions do you want to start your picture with. So for example here, if I want to make it more interesting, I have to start with proportions like 80 pixels from the left and 40 pixels from the top. So it's like twice, every 2 pixels by width for 1 pixel from the top, and it immediately makes the whole composition more interesting. Let's actually try to do this here and see if it will work the way I'm thinking it will. I will also do it the same here. Maybe sometimes it requires extra adjustments from the end of the page, but I want to make immediately kind of brave version to see how it scales later. Okay, so we have product stats, which is like upvotes, comments, and I even don't know. I'm so sorry. I don't know what does it mean. Product comments. I don't know what does those face means. Like, is this amount of upvotes? No. Comments? No. Daily rank? I don't know. There's no, maybe it's their personal likes. Okay, so what I see, we don't have a lot of like we don't have likes, we have only upvotes. Comments are actually can be distributed here near the comments. So I would actually change the structure because it doesn't make sense to me. I think product stats, like the main thing that people look for is the amount of upvotes. Another thing that I like is this kind of product of the day. I'm not sure if this is a picture I have some tool here that actually allows me to see if there is a picture inside. Oh, it's open like this, assets. I'm not sure that oh yeah, this is actually an asset and it's SVG, which is great. I will move myself right here. We will reuse it to make it better, and we will make a better structure of everything here. So instead of calling product stats, I would use just Upvote. The amount of comments we will push to the top comments, and we will like write, for example, okay, we received 53 comments, for example, and we will use top voters in a more kind of economical state. So let's try with upvotes. The first thing that I want to change is adapt to the new grid that we decide to move on. I think it would look actually pretty great. This is just for a future reference. It doesn't need to be really careful right now. We don't want to use any backgrounds for now. Okay, so upvotes. I will make 20. Let's make it 20. Let's make it medium. The stuff that I don't like here with the kind of typography style is that if you're using uppercase, you always have to use the letter spacing between them. You also have to make it like smaller in a way, and you have to be really deliberate with these indications to to kind of understand and synchronize what they mean. Because right now, for example, these black descriptions looks more contrast to the white background rather than this orange description, which makes this more important than the name. And the same is like product stats looks bigger than the name itself. So it's kind of have this counterintuitive logic, like something here is super dense, but then again here there's so many white space, including this white space. It just doesn't make sense to me hierarchically. So like hierarchy between the elements are really not great. So I will try to change it right now and see how we can fix it. Okay, upvote. I want to actually highlight upvote somehow and say like, hey, we received 270 upvotes, and we also have this super badge that we can use somewhere. I'm not sure we can use them right now, but we will definitely find a way to kind of place it here neatly. Then we have top voters, which we can also move here. Let's copy our style, everywhere. Synchronize the height. Okay, so we have upvotes, we have top voters. Let's write them down. Founder of product funds. And the amount of followers, right? So it's like 88,000 of followers. Are you kidding me? This is too much. You have to have a lower number, sorry. This is illegal to have this amount of followers. Okay, and then we have 4 people like this. What I will immediately do is I'm going to lower down the font for each of them. I will do everything in auto layout. Let's see how it works. Then I'm going to select every subtitle, make it even smaller. I think we can make it smaller here. I know it's not like accessibility friendly to make it this small, but I think it's actually reasonable here. What I will want also to do is to make like this super small followers all cap style that we see on Instagram and everywhere else. The key to make them is to try to make it a little bit bolder, increase the letter spacing by, for example, 10%. I think 11% already better, and make it something like this. So it immediately should look a bit better. Then we also have to give more distinction here. I'll use the same logic. I think it's too right. Ryan Hoover. Names are important. You have to kind of give them more importance here. Okay. Oh, and we forgot the faces. I think faces are more important than names in a way. People really remember the yeah, like this. Okay. Rancour. Okay, top waters. We'll place it like this. Okay. It's actually the best thing is usually use, for example, all values should be one style, all titles should be one style. So maybe let's decide on titles. How can we make them more bright? I actually like the idea of using the color. We can use the color from the Comic Club or from the product hunt. It's just my kind of their input. I don't want to use exactly their color. I want to use something that is relevant for this picture. And I think we miss some kind of the boldification in a way. Okay. Usually what I do is I highlight in the most prominent colors the numbers, the values. But here I think that in order to follow this structure, I would actually need to kind of follow this like idea of highlighting the how does it called? The titles first. But I also want to make our title really prominent here. I have also somewhere title. I will paste logo later. Let's make quickly based on these values. I want to make the date here. Okay, so it's like June 3rd. Let's see how it looks. Okay, June is good. 3rd should be way bigger. Let's try date 28. Should be centered. Oh no. I think we have to compensate it a bit. I want to make it like something more. Okay, this should be super wide. And then it has the months, right? I want to check it on my phone how it looks. Calendar. Yes, the months is actually in red, but I want to select good red. So I'm going to make it a bit different. Definitely less saturated. Okay, I think like this. I don't like it. I think it actually is a bit bigger. The one way that I use to center everything is I just kind of scale it like this, so it will be always centered. I think it's good for now. Okay, top comments. I will actually use our kind of save image desktop. Okay, Edward, I will use your name here. What I want to do is I want to kind of use this as basic line. Do you have any bio? I like making things people like. This is a good bio. It's the same for me, man. Okay, and they have like a comment, right? Okay, this would look really bad. But let's try to copy at least this part. Let's see if we can make it. So what I want to do is I want to make a reasonable kind of width so it would look good. So it should be like this, I guess. Then I actually want to limit it. It's good that like see more. I think they used kind of ellipses, but I'm not sure it conveys the same feeling, so I'll try to just use it like this for now. Okay, let's make some roundings here. What I want to do here is I want to make this as subtle as possible, just to indicate that this was a comment on the platform. There's only also one way to do is like kind of shrink it down a bit. I don't like the size, the line height. Could definitely be better. Maybe we could, oh no, it doesn't adapt. Should fill container, and then we can, yeah, it works like this. So I want to make it maximum 300 here, just to make it more unified. What I don't like is that it's actually container. Okay, I think this actually looks good, and there is a way to kind of market that it's actually an author. So what I would do is I would also auto layout them. Let's say author. I would make it smaller. I would make it light, and I would mark it with, for example, the color I've already used. I'm not sure this is an actually good way to do it. I want to align it using the breakdown. I think something like this would look good. No, it doesn't look good at all. Sorry. I'm going to reuse my technique of making it way smaller, and the way I use, for example, what I know is that in order to make it more beautiful, you have to make the width, the margins, the paddings on the left way bigger than the margins on the top, and we will use slide background to make it more appealing. So now it looks way better. We don't have a lot of space for another comments. Thinking, what can we do here? I don't want to break this super innovative kind of lining layout system. I want to make it like this because I think it's good. Maybe there is a way for us to make it more, what does it say? Let's play with Upvote a bit. I want to see how it goes. Okay, I will probably place Upvotes with the same style as title. I'll auto layout them, I will mark them. We'll use some kind of graphics, and let's try to minimize the amount of space so it would look better, and see how it looks. Okay, and this results, let's see what height it is. It's like 24. Let's try to make this 24 and make it on the same line as it. Okay, so we have right now this kind of flow. Also, I don't like this color particularly. I would actually use something less saturated, something like this. I think it just looks a bit more premium this way. Okay, let's fill out all photos with the plugin and see how it looks like. User profile, just photos, cool. See how it looks. Yeah, I kind of like this section, but I kind of hate this one, the top comment section. What can we do here? Maybe one way is we can actually decrease the amount between. What I'm thinking is maybe we could, for example, show that there is a lot of comments and only author's comment should be posted, you know? Because what I'm thinking when I look at this is that like it doesn't show the full context. It's better just to go to this link to kind of and see if this allows. No, it doesn't allow me to show the link, but it's better like if there was a link and I could go to the product hunt page and then I could see the top comments. Something that I'm interested in it is like in author's comments first. So what I would do is I probably would scale it, give more context from what Edward has written to people. It was like this. So yeah, I want to give it, you know, like a way to showcase that there is a lot of content there. So I would actually go beyond the line. I'll delete this. And I would probably focus more on top voters for one specific reason, because I think that there is an idea of showing more faces, and if people see someone more familiar, they would have more interested rather than looking at some kind of comments that might be questions or some critique of the product. So what we are also going to do, I know it should be a component and stuff, but I don't want to bug with it right now. I want to make it super quick. No, it's not that. We're not needing the photo. We need can I paste names here in user profile? No, I can't. It should be another plugin, right? Dynamic content, automator. Actually don't know. Content body, maybe content body. No, it's not that. Okay, never mind. I will use this. I kind of, something that bugs me is I think I would increase the size here. I'll delete it right now. Yeah, that's why you have to make components. I always forget that. Make this. So let's compare how it looks. I think this one actually looks a bit better, more structured in a way. Let's reuse the logo here. I will pull the logo from the page, not my vector, to make it more fair. Oh, it's not. Let's see. Let's see if we can pull it. Yeah, we can pull it. It's super small, but I think it will be enough for us. It doesn't pulse. Okay, what do you want me to do? This thing. I'm sorry. That's the only thing I can come up with right now. I don't want to do it more complicated than this. Okay, I think we'll have to increase the shadow a bit, but what I want to do is I probably will make something in between, and I will also add another shadow, which will be like a little bit toned down. It will have bigger sprout, like bigger blur, but I will make it really smaller. It doesn't work as I expect it to work. Okay, we have 10, we have 1, we have 0, then we have 2, we have 5, and we have, yeah, like this. It should show just a slight elevation around there and bigger contrast between the page. So what do you think? I think this is actually looks way better. Like this was before and this is after. I think it's cleaner, it shows more value. This thing should be more kind of contrasty. I think it has this interesting like kind of breakdown, like the paddings inside, which makes it more interesting. I really like this thing with the kind of overflowing comments. I think it will provoke people to read more by the link. what we can actually do, something I want to try, is to make like an overflow gradient. How we're going to do it is we're going to place both parts with the same color, and we will use this kind of view. So right now it's too much. I don't like it. Yeah. So I want to make this look of like, hey, there is more content here. The same can be done here, but it's generally more structured than this one, which looks a bit horrible to me. But here it's actually a bit better, to my taste, of course. It's not universal. Everything is lined up. We have like all comments. Probably don't need top comments. It's like it just only have to show the amount of total comments, and we will style it the same way as Upvote with an arrow. I think it looks quite good. I also like this kind of same style. Let's just style it. Yeah, so it has like the same consistent styling everywhere. This is a little bit more indented. I actually want to make it slightly more interesting. I want to make it a little bit like a just slight bit of orange, but very desaturated, something like this. But if we're going to do it like this, we also have to style down our gradient in a way. So I think it's already more interesting. Something that I'm trying right now is to actually use some patterns. I will not try it right now, but what I'm going to do is I will increase the margins inside, because I believe we can also make it more interesting here. So let's try something more crazier, like 24, and make it, we used double side here, right? Let's use the same here. So it's going to be 24 in the top and 48 from the side. It immediately looks better to me, and it looks like more indented into the same structure using the same logic. So I'm still kind of, I'm not like convinced that it should be here. I will try to place it here, but it looks like a logo. So yeah, it's probably good stuff to place it here. I would probably do it differently, but since it has it like here, I would probably keep it this way. Okay, 32 minutes. I think it's a good progress. Maybe you will learn some tips, and hopefully it will be, I don't know, informative for you, or at least fun. Please tell me if it's anyway interesting, if you want to follow with me, send more examples, and we can really decode them together and see how can we make it even more interesting. I can't wait to play with this even more, to be honest. I like to see where can we push some things to a more interesting dimension, or even play with fonts and stuff. Okay, see you guys.